we might get rolling. I appreciate you all coming out today on such a beautiful day here in Brisbane. We've got Nikita Tszyu and Tim Tszyu here today. Nikita set to make his debut on Wednesday night here at the Convention Centre in Brisbane against Aaron Stahl. Very tough fight, straight off the back for Nikita, but very exciting for Australian boxing and for No Limit boxing in particular. We've been anticipating this moment for quite some time, and now that it's coming into fruition for us, there is a lot of excitement around the debut of Nikita Tszyu about what he's going to bring on Wednesday night, and it's going to be a fantastic night at the Convention Centre. Tickets are still available for this fight. We've got a terrific undercard as well. We have Wade Ryan versus Dennis Hogan, local Dennis Hogan. They're fighting for a world title eliminator, the IBO world title eliminator. We also have Liam Wilson fighting Joe Noine. Now this is a rematch of a fight from last year in which Joe Noine beat Liam Wilson, a highly ranked Philippine opponent, world rated, very world class fight, and it's a big rematch for Liam Wilson to get some credibility back and take his reign to the top where he wants to be. But very excited here today to have Nikita and Tim. Tim's currently still in his training camp. As you know, there's been some bad news recently around Brian Castano and the plans for Tim's fight, but we've put our case forward to the WBO and we're waiting on an official announcement from the WBO on what will happen with the unification bout and whether Tim can step in and fight anybody available, because as he said previously, he's ready to fight anyone. He'll happily fight Charlo if the opportunity arises, and we're waiting on the WBO to make that decision. So Nikita and Tim will be here for any and all questions for all of you, so go for it.
How does it feel? Pro debut, a couple of days away, that sort of thing.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but exciting at the same time. Something I've dreamt about for a long time. Over the last 8 years, whilst I wasn't actually doing boxing, the thought of going into boxing was also on my mind. And yeah, it's coming to be right now.
And they tell me the Butcher, is that the nickname? How does that sit with
There'll
you?
be no nicknames, no nicknames. It's just something that just popped out. Yeah, it's just something I use to describe myself, but there'll be no nicknames.
And how beneficial has this like an exhibit helping you out, that sort of thing? What's his advice, mate?
It's been really transformative because he's experienced it firsthand, and he's like a mentor to me. He's someone I've always looked up to in my life. I've always used him as a role model, and now we're in the same career, and he's got the experience, and I can ask him anything I want, and he's got the answers.
How much has his sort of journey sort of motivated you or helped you watching him over the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, he was the one that made me interested in boxing in the first place. So then he brought that spark back again. So yeah, it's really motivating to see the level that he's at, and that's something that I strive to achieve in the future.
Feeling any pressure or nerves heading into like a first headlining TV bout?
Yeah, of course. It's very nerve-wracking. It's the biggest stage I've ever performed at, and headlining my own events. I don't think many people have the opportunity to do that on their first fight. But got to make the most of all the opportunities that come to you. So, yeah.
And how do you see the fight panning out on the night?
You have to wait and see.
Tim, obviously, what does it mean to you just to be standing there with your mother about to have his first pro bout?
Look, it's definitely
We'll get you up close to the mic.
it's definitely nerves for me because it's out of my control. Usually I'm always in control and I do what I want. But now it's him, and it's out of my control.
I guess you've talked up Nikolai's sort of killer streak and stuff like that. I mean, were you expecting that to be no different than the actual?
Yeah, I guarantee you, there's going to be a body unconscious, and the kid's going to be staring like that at him on the floor.
What about your own situation, mate? Have you heard anything from Charlo's camp since you sort of spoke about it last?
No, that's Georgie's job. You know, it's not my job. That's the pressure on them. I got one thing to do, and that's to train, and the boys organise the fights. So talk to the boys.
What would you like to see happen? What would your preference be?
In all honesty, the ideal situation would be to fight the winner. Look, I can't control exactly what happens, but whoever they put in front of me, that's all I can do. And I'll fight whoever, wherever, whenever.
How frustrating are the delays? Obviously, it is out of your control, but you really can. How do you see it playing out?
I told the boys that they don't have much choice but to make it happen. It's not like they got months and months now for delays. No, the biggest delay will be 1 week to 2 weeks. Pressure's on them.
And Charlo, you're obviously ready for that fight if it does come up.
Yeah, of course. He's a big talker. They got a big mouth, but my fists are itching, and itching his face actually. So I'd love to take him on.
And how huge this year in the context of your career, considering borders are opening up now, you can travel, that sort of thing, in terms of getting fights? Like, how big could this year be for you?
Yeah, I said before, we're going global. We're taking things to the next level, and that's going to America. I've always been, so ambitious to get to America. After the Jeff Horn fight, I was like, you know what, we need to. But look, COVID has slowed things down, but at the same time, I kept consistent, kept fighting, brought a few opponents down here, fought whoever I could. But now it's global. Now it's the international stage. Now it's the big boys.
Just back on your brother's fight, obviously a little bit of a different role for you being in the corner for it.
Yeah. My first time actually in the corner, so I don't know how I'll be. I'll be in the background. But that's going to be Nikita's night. Nikita's time to knock bodies out, and Nikita's night to enjoy himself and make the most of it.
Who's going to be more nervous, you in the corner or Nikita?
Oh, 100% me. Once Nikita gets into this zone, I'm telling you, he's nervous now a little bit, yeah. But once he gets into this zone and he comes out and he feels it, he's going to be a monster, and he's going to be. Once there's a body on the floor, and then everything will change.
Yeah.